Hey there. Today I would like to tell you a little bit about the dialect that I speak. I'm going to pick out a couple of dialect words and I look them up in this book here. It's called Wörterbuch des Wienerischen, Dictionary of the Viennese Dialect. Now, my home dialect, so to say, is not Viennese. I was born in a different region. But of course, a lot of the words are known here and there, and the pronunciation might be a little different, but there's the details. So you can see it's quite a big dictionary, considering it's just for one city and its specific expressions. I have to say I don't know all the words that turn up here, especially when they're specifically Viennese and maybe a bit older. But I think a lot of them have something very funny to them. There's kind of a nice humor. A bit rough sometimes, but definitely charming. Alright. So the first word I'd like to tell you about is tramhappet. I sometimes write two different T's in the same word. It just happens. So, tramhappet. Tramhappet. It basically means drowsy or unfocused. And when you pick it apart, I think it's a really nice image. Let me show you how. So, the first part of the word is tram. Tram. In Standard German, that would be Traum. Tram, Traum. And in English, that's dream. Tram, Traum, dream. Now the ending here just tells us that this is an adjective. And the middle part here, hap, comes from Haupt. Hap. Haupt. And in English, that would be your head. So, tramhappet means that your head is still somewhere in your dreams. A head full of dreams. Sleepyhead, you could say. In Standard German, you might say verträumt, verschlafen. A little more poetic would be schlaftrunken. But this specific word, I think, doesn't exist in Standard German. Traumhaft. There's a similar word. That's a bit funny. And it's blåbär. Blåhoppet. So, we already know this part, meaning it's an adjective and it refers to your head. And blå comes from Standard German bloß, meaning bare, so naked. Blåhoppet then means your head is without a hat. However, when you say blåhoppet nowadays, it actually means that you're walking without shoes. So it refers to the other end of your body. I'm not sure how that happened. An expression that referred to one's head now refers to the feet. But that's the only context in which this word is used. It's the only meaning it has. You're not wearing shoes. You're blåhoppet. Maybe it's just because hats have gone out of fashion. Not sure. Right. Let's make some space here. So, now we have a word that I think is really cute. Tshktshktshk. 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 Here you have an ending that turns up a lot in Austrian German. This just means that the item is smaller or cuter than without the ending. However, in this case, you can't remove it. You can't say tshktshk. It doesn't exist. And I'm not sure where this word comes from. I think maybe from zwicken, so something like clip or snap off. This is the only form that still exists. Tshktshk. Tshktshk. And it means a small child. Or you could also use it for anything else that's a bit too small. So, small cute child or an item that's really tiny. That's tshktshk. Of course, for small children you have many, many different words. You could also say boxal, bootsal, or bootsie. So the al at the end can also just be an I. Bootsie. Boxal, bootsal, bootsie. These are all very small children. toddlers maybe. And what they might do is bitzeln, blasen und blähen. These are all words for crying in different intensities, I guess. So, zvučkar, boxer, pucar, puci, bitzeln, blasen, blähen. And then, instead of zvučkar, you also have a couple of other words that refer to a very small person or maybe a frail person. A grown-up won't be too happy probably if you call them a zvučkar. But you might say someone is a tsnichtl. That's someone who might be a bit frail, maybe doesn't have a lot of resilience, might be a bit sickly. Tsnichtl. So someone you might want to take care of. Could also say sechel, which is similar. Or one word that I find a bit funny is åtsikta. Åtsikta. Now, you might notice that this part here, zvik, and this part here, zvučk, are a little similar. They might come from the same root. Basically, åtsikta means a person who's short, and the image is that they've been clipped. So they were taller, but they were clipped off, and now they're short. I think it's quite a humorous word, but I don't think that people would really like to hear it when you call them åtsikta. It's mostly used for men, and I wouldn't use it when the person can hear me. Alright, let's use something a little nicer. Zuckerkuschel, Zuckerkuschel, Zuckerkuschel. Now, you already know the ending, so we're talking about someone who's small or cute. And then here we have two words. Zucker, this is the same word in Standard German, means sugar. And Gosche or Goschen is not really a nice word. It's a pretty vulgar way to refer to someone's mouth. However, we have the ending here, which makes it cute. So, tshktshktshk would be a term of endearment for someone that you like very much. You'd probably use it for a woman and not for a man. And there is a song by a well-known Viennese singer and songwriter who's called Kurt Osborne. And he sings Und du warst mein Zuckerguschel und hier war der Bussibär. Mir daden gemütlich heut und blad werden. Erst, was braucht man mehr? So that means you would be my Zuckerguschel and I'd be your teddy bear. And together we would slowly and comfortably grow old and fat. What else could you possibly need? And I think it's a really cute image that you found someone that you're just that comfortable with to grow old and a bit fat together. Zuckerguschel. So we have Dramhoppet, Blåhoppet. We have Zwutschger, Baksal, Botsal, Botsi, Beetzeln, Blasen und Blären. We have a Znirchtl, a Seichel, an Åzwikten und a Zuckerguschel. So, like I said, this ending, el, turns up really often. And usually you can remove it from the word and you just get the root. But sometimes adding it means that you get a completely different word. For example, Scherzel, Scherzel, Scherzel. So here this does look like the ending, but if you remove it, you have Scherz, and that means joke, with the ending. It doesn't mean a little joke, it actually means it's the end piece of a loaf of bread, a Scherzel. I think there are many different dialect words for that piece of a bread everywhere across the different dialects. But this is the one that I know and that I use. Scherzel. So the ending is an integral part of the word that you can't remove. However, sometimes people make some scherzar, some small jokes based on that. There's a saying when someone's making a lot of jokes that you might not find too funny, you would ask them whether they've slept in the bread tin with all the scherzar. Alright, And then one word that I like very much because I think it's a really neat concept. It's like this, betthupfer. 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 So here we have the ending, and here we have two parts. We have bet, which is the same in Standard German, it means bed, and hupf comes from the verb hüpfen, which is Standard German, and that means to jump. I hope you can read this. To jump. And the erl at the end tells us it's a noun. It's something small. Some small thing to jump into bed. Now I'm going to show you what that could be. So something like that could be a betthupfer. Meaning a small piece of chocolate, maybe a little cookie, a praline. Just one small bite basically that you would enjoy before getting ready for bed. A little treat at the end of the day. A betthupfer. There are also some TV programs, I think in the 70s, where at 6 o'clock in the evening they would show a short cartoon or something similar. Just 5 minutes maybe, for the children to get ready to go to bed. Betthupfer. So let's have another look at the words that we've had here. There is dramhappad, a sleepyhead, and blåhoppad, to walk without shoes. There's a tshktshktshk, or a boxer, boxer, a bootsy, a very small child. If the child's unwell, it might be or blad or clear. Box spitzeln, blasen, blären. They might cry because they're sleepy and want to go to bed. There are words that are not too flattering, like snichtelen, zecher, otzwikte. And there's terms of endearments like zuckerkusche. There's a scherzer that might be left over from your dinner. And there's a betthupferl. You might treat yourself now with a betthupferl before going to bed. Maybe you're already feeling a bit bramhappert. In which case, I hope you'll have very nice dreams. I thank you for watching.